The Olmecs are best known for their colossal head monuments, presumed to be images of their rulers, and small jade carvings, such as this one, called the Dragon Spoon.
This Olmec jade can be considered dragon-like because it combines the features of several different animals, such as a caiman and even a harpy eagle, and it also has some purely imaginary elements like the serrated eyebrows here. It's in the form of a spoon with the depressed area here in the center, and then the face of the dragon over here with the open jaws and long fangs coming down there.
Olmec territory is full of dangerous animals.
The Olmec revered predators, and those animals symbolize not just physical power but spiritual power, and they were believed to be able to move between the natural world and the supernatural world.
Many Olmec artifacts depict this movement between the natural and supernatural worlds. Here, a shaman is taking the journey with the revered predator through the help of hallucinogenic plants. This dragon deity outlives the Olmec. It's adopted by Mexico's next great civilization, the Maya. The Mayans first appeared during the reign of the Olmecs, but reached their pinnacle of power about 300 AD.
When you look at many of the ruins of the Olmec and the Maya, you see these images carved into temples, into buildings of their image of the dragon, which is a great serpent type of creature. Usually they have sort of feathers or horns around the head, they have a muzzle that sticks out, a big gaping mouth. And it's hard to know what the people, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years ago were thinking about this.
We do know that the great serpent is a god named Kukulkan, who inherits the characteristics of the Olmec serpent, but also grows feathers. Kukulkan is a flying reptilian beast, frighteningly similar to the dragons of Europe.
The common image of the dragon there, for example, among the Maya, was Kukulkan. They talked about this dragon. And Kukulkan was the feathered serpent. You often hear, for example, in the names of Indian war chiefs of the southwest United States or the southeast United States or of Mexico, the title feathered serpent. And this was essentially the dragon image.
In the Mayan city of Chichen Itza, dating to 400 BC, the pyramid of Kukulkan dominates the landscape. During the spring and autumnal equinox, sunlight cascades down the western balustrade of the pyramid until it joins the carving of Kukulkan's head at the bottom of the stairway. This is just a fraction of the homage to Kukulkan.
A very common theme in the dragon story everywhere is the need sometimes to try to buy the dragon off.
For Mayans, appeasing the dragon Kukulkan requires the ultimate sacrifice: human life. This dragon-shaped altar is witness to the gruesome act. Priests ripping still beating hearts from sacrificial victims. Kukulkan appears in a variety of Mesoamerican cultures, although he is known by different names. Later civilizations call him Quetzalcoatl in the image of the tropical quetzal bird.
Quetzalcoatl bird is a bird with these beautiful feathers, and when it takes off and flies, its tail drapes behind it, so you get this image, a fleeting image of what you could imagine to be like a flying serpent, green serpent.
While the Mayans still control the Yucatan Peninsula, Quetzalcoatl appears in a culture developing near present-day Mexico City. Details about these effusive builders are a mystery. Even their name is unknown. They and their city have been dubbed Teotihuacan, City of the Gods. When the Roman Empire is declining in Europe, Teotihuacan is the 6th largest city in the world. Although the massive pyramids of the sun and the moon dominate the skyline, the most important is dedicated to a dragon, the Temple of Quetzalcoatl. The rulers have good reason to keep the dragon powerful.
These great priest chiefs of these societies essentially rested their power on the backs of dragons, if you want to put it that way. If you can control the image, you control the creature.
Around 700 AD, Teotihuacan is abandoned, but the dragon survives. Quetzalcoatl is adopted by other cultures, including the Toltecs and the Aztecs. His stature grows. He becomes the deity of culture, philosophy, and gentility. Ironically, the legend of Quetzalcoatl holds him responsible for the deaths of thousands of Aztecs. In the Mexican town of Mérida, a memorial depicts the story. In 1524, the great Aztec leader Montezuma believes Quetzalcoatl has come to Earth in human form. Unfortunately, it's not Quetzalcoatl, but the Spanish invader Hernández Cortés. Montezuma showers Cortés with gifts instead of arrows, allowing a mere 500 Spanish conquistadors to defeat 500,000 Aztecs. Quetzalcoatl and his ancestor Kukulkan have company. In Panama, more dragons.
This gold pectoral is from an entirely different civilization and a different region. It comes from the Azuero Peninsula of central Panama, and it dates to about 450 to 900 AD. The emblem in the center of it can be considered a dragon-like creature, and if you look at him, you can see that he has long claws, spiky teeth, and emanations coming out of the head.
Dragons also appear in the Pueblo culture of Anasazi. The center of Anasazi civilization lies in Chaco Canyon, in present-day New Mexico. Anasazi is actually a Navajo word, meaning ancient ones. What we know of them, we learn from what they left behind, including a rock painting that shows a dragon with prominent wings. The Anasazi dragon seems to be inspired by giant winged creatures thought to have died out tens of millions of years earlier. Dr. Phil Manning, curator of paleontology at England's Manchester Museum,
Yeah, because you take a big...
travels throughout North America in search of links among fossils, dragons, and ancient beliefs.
As a sort of paleontology detective or paleo detective, it's up to me to piece together these clues from cultures, from science, and from geographies to see if anything links together to make a coherent story.
And,
In Utah, Manning visits Dr. Brooks Britt at Brigham Young University.
Is that a bit like finding a jigsaw puzzle piece?
Here he finds an important link between science and dragons.
Brooks, this is an amazing creature. I have never seen one like this so close. Tell me a bit more about this one.
Well, this is called Pteranodon. It's a flying reptile from the end of the age of dinosaurs, the late Cretaceous. It's a spectacular example of a flying machine.
What's with the big crest? How would that function? What was the use of having such a long crest?
Well, they have a couple ideas. One is it's for sexual display, attracting mates. Also, of course, if you have a vein-shaped object like that on your head, if you move it, it's going to move the rest of your body as well, right? When you've got the airflow going across it. Some pterosaurs had a wingspan of up to 37 feet. They dwarf a small private plane flying overhead.
Did the Anasazi find fossil remains of pterosaurs? It's possible. And did Anasazi interaction with their southern neighbors also inspire the legends of Kukulkan and Quetzalcoatl? Also possible. We do know that one of the descendants of the Anasazi, the Hopi, believe in a plumed water serpent called Palulukan that has the power to drain rivers and cause earthquakes.
On the fringes, the northern fringes of Central America, for example, among people like the Hopi and the Zuni, they would depict Palulukan, very much like the Quetzalcoatl or the Kukulkan of the Central American high civilizations.
Pterosaurs may have inspired these dragons, but in the Midwest, the creatures are much more shocking.